Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another installment of the Versus series, where I compare and contrast two different pieces of media to see which one comes out on top. And today's topic are two of the most famous Mario games of all time: Super Mario Galaxy, released in 2007, and Super Mario Odyssey, released in 2017, 10 years apart from each other. Of course, they're still both not as famous as Mario 64, which is one of the most influential video games of all time, but I haven't played it that much, or as Mario Sunshine, so I'm not doing a video about them. I'm doing a video about these two because actually I've completed these two. So we're going to compare these two because I think both of them are contenders to be my favorite game of all time, but I just can't decide which one is better. So I'm doing a versus series episode on this because why not? So whichever has the most points, I guess, is my favorite game of all time. So let's begin. First off, the story, or as I've written here, the story of. I wrote the Y badly, so it looks like that now. Anyways, so the plot of Mario Galaxy is that Princess Peach is rescued, of course, but differently this time. So Bowser has this giant alien ship thing that pulls Peach's castle up from the ground and pulls it up into space. That is insane. And the game does take it very seriously. This is definitely the most epic feeling out of all the Mario games due to fun fact, this is the first Mario game with an orchestrated score, and it does show because there's a choir and everything. It's very epic. And I like the darker tone that this goes. Of course, it's still a bit lighthearted because it is a Mario game, but I feel like it takes itself a bit more seriously than most Mario games, especially with the music and how there's a lot less comedy. I mean, this came out after Mario Sunshine, which I think is the funniest Mario game of all time because the voices in that game are friggin' hysterical because of how idiotic and stupid they are. It's friggin' hilarious. But anyway, back to this. Uh, yeah, I like the story. It's not too dark, but has a bit of a dark tone, and I do appreciate that. Mario Odyssey, on the other hand, same plot, Princess Peach, except Bowser wants to marry Peach, and so he kicks Mario off his airship. And Bowser goes to different kingdoms, and you have this, you know, sidekick named Cappy, who is a hat, and if you throw him on something, then you can turn into it. Like say you can turn into a Goomba. The plot in this one is a lot more comedic, and you can definitely tell because it has a lot. The music is a lot more lighthearted, and it's also a lot more brighter in tone. After Avatar came out, movies became a lot more colorful, and I think that applies to games as well, or at least Mario games, because what the hell am I saying? Not game. Games have always been colorful, but you know what I mean. But the game is a lot more colorful than Mario Galaxy, which that was pretty colorful. But I played it on the Switch, so graphics were a lot better. But whatever. So the plots of these two are very different. Mario Galaxy takes its plot a lot more seriously, and it has a darker tone, while this one is a lot more comedic. But I will have to go for Mario Odyssey's plot because even though it doesn't take itself as seriously as Galaxy, it does have a very unique idea of Bowser wanting to marry Peach, and they do actually develop on this as the game goes on. So I think that's really good writing on the writer's plot, on the writer's side. So congratulations, Hiroaki Hishinuma. I probably botched that so hard, but anyway, I don't care. 1 point for Mario Odyssey. Now for the gameplay. So in Mario Galaxy, you do get a sidekick as well, but it's a Luma, that thing. It basically goes under your hat, and you have this spin jump, which gives you like an extra boost. So what you have to do is basically you just have to go to different galaxies and planets in those galaxies, to get power stars, which help power Rosalina's ship or something like that. I'm thinking Mario Odyssey. Big power stars help power Rosalina's ship. In fact, actually, Rosalina is a character in this game. So I'll get to the characters later on. But for now, the gameplay. Yeah, so you have a Luma under your hat and you have a spin jump, which is like basically just a second jump. So if you're about to fall, then you can try and save yourself by using a spin jump. I've tried it and it has helped before, but most of the time it's just, yeah. Now, I will say that the controls in this game can sometimes be a bit slippery, but I do think for the most part it does control very well, and the gameplay is really fluid. Some parts can be a bit off, like some of the boss fights, but I feel like for the most part the gameplay is very sharp and very well done. Mario Odyssey, I've already explained that you have Cappy, a sentient hat that allows Mario to control other characters and objects. So you basically throw him by pressing either X or Y, I think, and you can turn and you can basically go into the soul essentially of a different creature across all the kingdoms. Which there's lots of kingdoms. There's the Cap Kingdom, the Cascade Kingdom, the Sand Kingdom, the Lake Kingdom, the Wooded Kingdom, the Cloud Kingdom, the Lost Kingdom, the Metro Kingdom, the Snow Kingdom, the Seaside Kingdom, the Luncheon Kingdom, the Ruined Kingdom, the Bowser's Kingdom, the Moon Kingdom, and the Mushroom Kingdom. And there's a few other kingdoms, like the Dark Side or the Darker Side, but they're not really kingdoms. So, my favorite kingdom is probably the Cloud Kingdom because it's just so peaceful, and I'm a pretty big fan of the sky. I mean, I'm making a comic series about the sky, but I think the best place for kingdom in this game for me is the Luncheon Kingdom, but we'll get to that later, hopefully, probably not. So the gameplay, I think, is very good in this game as well. It's very fluid, and it's very easy to control. But and it's a lot easier to control than Mario Galaxy. But sometimes it can be a bit off. Sometimes, like how it takes a while for Cappy to come back to you if you're not holding Y. Like sometimes if you throw him, it won't come back to you quickly if you're like surrounded by enemies, so you'll probably get hit. But for the most part, I think I do prefer the controls in this over Mario Galaxy. So I'll have to give another point to Mario Odyssey. Yeah, so it's seeming like Mario Galaxy will win. But let's go over to the next part, the level design. So, the level design in these games are very different. Mario Galaxy is a very linear game. It compared to Mario 64 and Mario Sunshine, where they're both very open world but still have linear parts. This is a very linear game where you have to go a certain path in order to proceed. It's not more like exploration based like 64, Sunshine, or even Odyssey. But I feel like that is a very good thing to do because I mean, the Galaxy. If you're trying to make an open world with Galaxy, that's not going to be very easy because well, it's the friggin' Galaxy. It's very open and empty. So I feel like it's a good thing that it's linear, and plus the planets themselves are very well designed and have some few interesting things. Like there's this parts with the motion based stuff. But of course, I don't have a Wii, so I had to play it on the Switch with Super Mario 3D All Stars. Used to do have that game, and I had to use a Switch for that, like the Switch Joy-Cons or something. So it is very hard to control the motion-based parts, but I think they're really fun and give you a good challenge. It's well designed and they're not too difficult where you're ripping your hair out. Mario Odyssey, on the other hand, it is very open world. Now, of course, there is both open world and linear. There's some parts of the game that are linear, and then there's the parts that are open world. I like the parts that are like open world and linear, like the Metro Kingdom, which is very, very big, and there's a lot of stuff to do. But I think it's sort of easy to go through the Metro Kingdom and the Luncheon Kingdom as well, and some other kingdoms. But I think the biggest slap in the face for me of way too open world is probably the Sand Kingdom, because Jesus, it is literally. It's as if the people programming this game actually went to the Sahara and just took everything from it, because damn it, it's very big. When I played this game for the when I played this game for the first time, I didn't know where I was going because it was so big. Then for the second time, I was still confused because it was so much like stuff to do. It has one of the most amount of moons in any of the kingdoms. 68 when you start, or no, 69 when you start. Nice. Unless you exclude the Mushroom Kingdom, which has 104 moons, which is very much a lot of moons. But the Sand Kingdom, despite having less moons, it's much bigger and open world, and I think that can overwhelm a lot of people who are first playing this game, because I feel like it can be a bit too open world sometimes, where it just feels very confusing to get around and very empty and not very interesting at all. So I think for game design, or level design, even though there are some parts in this game that are very well designed, in fact, most of the game is very well designed, I'll have to go with Mario Galaxy for this one, because even though it is more linear, I think it's definitely more easier to navigate everything, and it keeps you on a good pace, while still having, while still being, a very good game, a good pace, that doesn't make you bored. So sometimes in some of the kingdoms in Odyssey, I can get bored sometimes. So that's 1 point to Mario Galaxy. Anyway, let's move on to the characters. So in Mario Galaxy, this wins. Do I even need to explain? I mean, in Mario Galaxy, you have Mario, the Lumas, Rosalina, Bowser. That's really about it, because there's literally nothing here. It's just very boring and one-note characters that don't have that much personality. The characters in Mario Odyssey have so much personality throughout all the kingdoms. They all feel different in their own way, and it really is unique. And it really gets you into the spirit of where you're going, because it's always like a different types of characters in every place. In this game, you have the brutals, or the villains. You have Bowser, who is funny as hell, unironically this time, and not in like Mario Sunshine, where it's ironically funny because his voice acting in that game is atrocious. But Pauline as well, the character from Donkey Kong, which is where Mario first appeared. Isn't it kind of ironic that there was a legal case between Universal and Nintendo because of Donkey Kong being similar to King Kong, and now Universal and Nintendo have worked together on the Mario movie. Yeah, but characters in this game are so much more expressive and do more things and have more of a personality. So of course I have to give a point to Mario Odyssey. And because there's only one topic left, I think you know who's gonna win, but I'm gonna talk about it anyway. The music. I think I'll have to go with Mario Galaxy for the music, because it is amazing in this game. There's so many tracks in this game that are so recognizable and I love so much. The theme, Bowser's theme, like the final level, Gusty Garden Galaxy, Jesus, that's an amazing song. Rosalina's ship, the hub world, like the opening theme of like the first cutscene. There's so many tracks in this game that are so recognizable, and it's so beautiful. In this game, it's very jazz based, and I like jazz, but I feel like in this it goes a bit too over the top. The reason why I think the Cloud King is my favorite, because it's very peaceful. I'm a guy that likes peace. I don't like things too loud, especially with the ear sensitivity. But I personally find the Cloud Kingdom very relaxing, and not having jazz music blow into your ear. Of course, there can be sometimes a bit more unique music, like in a Bowser Kingdom, which is very samurai, Chinese, Japanese, Asian based music. I like it. Of course, there's lots of different musics in different kingdoms. But most for the most part, it's very jazz uh themed, and the tracks themselves aren't really that recognizable. There's a few that I know from my head, but for the most part, they're fairly forgettable. There's still some very recognizable ones like Pauline's song in A Metro Kingdom, which the lyrics are actually put on the box and in the inside of the box of Mario Odyssey. I still have the boxes, of course I do. It's the music in this game is very well done, but I'll have to go with Mario Galaxy for the music because it is so beautiful and so unique in everything, and it's just an amazing score. So I'll have to give that to Mario Galaxy, but I think you know who wins at this point. So the winner is Super Mario Odyssey. So finally after looking at these games, I think I've decided that this is my favorite game of all time. And Mario Galaxy is in fourth because I still think The Escapist 2 and Minecraft are better games. Actually, no, scratch that. This is my third favorite game. Minecraft is fourth, Escapist 2 is second, and this is first. Okay, we got it, good. And then Rolling Sky is fifth. Well, the court adjourned. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this installment of the Versus series. Stay tuned in September, where we'll be looking at two very depressing films from 1979 and 1980 that both won Best Picture and are both about family drama. If you reach them, you'll find out. But anyway, that's all for this installment. Make sure you like and subscribe for that in September, and goodbye.